Yo, what is going on, guys? And today we are bringing you the first ever episode for our podcast. Don't have a formal name for it yet. I'll just put whatever we can come up with when we figure it out. But if you guys have any suggestions, let us know down in the comments. But today with our first episode, other than myself, Zenovo, or Net5, however you want to go by calling me, we also have Joe Dirt with us today.
Yo, what is going on, my peoples? I'm low-key dying, so if you hear me coughing, that's what's going on. Don't worry about it.
He's also known, or should be known, on Twitter as Bleach Hub, so if you guys want to go check him out, the Twitter links and everything like that will be down in the description. But basically, I tweeted out maybe like a week ago or so, that I wanted to start doing a podcast just because it's something that really interested me. I always just sit here and talk with my friends a lot of the time about certain things, so I figured why not try and turn it into a podcast. So the podcast is really going to be focused on mobile games, and right now we're sort of looking at Dokkan, especially Bleach Brave Souls, Naruto Blazing, and Duel Links. Right now, for today's podcast, we're just going to be talking about the first three. Duel Links, we're going to try and try and figure out sort of what's going on with the meta, because all I know is right now...
We're both pretty behind on the meta.
Yeah, like I know Raw's been released, I know 6 Sams have been released, which is my favorite archetype. So there's that, but other than that...
E-Heroes got support.
Yeah, E-Heroes. I know Cyber Angels are still kicking ass. A lot of people thought they were going to die when... they got one of the cards nerfed, but obviously not. But anyways,
it's still ridiculously broken.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we'll still try and figure that out. But in the meantime, we'll talk about at least the first three today. As far as like the news going around, so with Dokkan, we've got the new Vegito Blue and Rose that dropped over on JP. As well as we're going to be talking about just sort of what's been going on as far as LR Vegito Blue and sort of what's been going on between like Global and JP and kind of our thoughts on that. So that'll be a bit interesting. And then over in Brave Souls, we're going to be talking about the new manga characters that are possibly, or I think most likely, going to be released for New Year's, as well as the other New Year stuff going on. And on top of that, just kind of some stuff I wanted to talk about what the game's been doing that I feel like have been really good, that I think other games should just implement a lot of the ideas they've been throwing in there.
Dokkan.
Yeah, exactly. And then Blazing, of course, we just have like a bunch of new characters that have come out. We have the Kid Hashirama.
And why Blazing is the best game out right now.
I mean, is it though?
I mean, kinda.
Maybe you say so. But, yeah, we got some new characters in Blazing, so we'll be talking about those and kind of what's going on. So, yeah, and of course, if you guys have any suggestions on topics or any other games that might be popular for us to just try out and do, because I know there's stuff like, there's Fate, there's Sword Art, I know there's other games, like I think there's a Tokyo Ghoul gacha game, which I have not seen many people play.
There is a Fairy Tail gacha game, but it's only in Japanese. But, I mean, it's still pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've seen that. I thought there was a global version. No, there wasn't.
No, they never came out with the global version.
But yeah, so I mean, there are certain things like that.
They still could.
I know they came out with like a web browser game, which was so fucking bad. But anyways,
no, we're not doing web browser games.
No. But yeah, so I guess just to start off with, as far as Dokkan goes, so of course JP released the new Vegito Blue and Rose over on JP, or they didn't. They released the info, but we haven't seen much about them. We've seen the stats and everything, but they just haven't been properly dropped into the game. But if you guys want to see their animations, definitely be sure to check down in the link below. Speedy uploaded a video on that. I provided him with like the video and stuff like that. But honestly, first off, just the animations alone, I like what they did with Rose, like in his TUR animation. I don't like the fact that they were too lazy to make a completely separate super attack animation. Like, you see Vegito Blue, I love his UR.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's like I love Vegito Blue's animation, his first one for his UR. His TUR is still good, don't get me wrong, but I like his UR better, to be honest.
No. His TUR, I'm gonna have to debunk you on that real quick. They actually had my man move in his TUR form.
No. Yeah, that's cool and everything. That's why I think they put it as that. But even like when Speedy uploaded that video, he had the same thought. Like, he thought the UR was better, and a lot of people seem to agree. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. I enjoyed it just because it was the whole thing of like he's taunting him, and then as he comes at him, he just stabs him with his sword. But
my dude moves his arms.
I don't know. Like I said, I think, yeah, that's a cool thing. Don't get me wrong, but still,
that's like sliced bread, man. That's a big thing.
Sliced bread, yeah. But I don't know. And then Rose, they literally took the beginning part of the animation for the UR form, put it in the TUR form, and then just added more to it. It's like, come on, switch it up at some point. Like, they just kept the same thing.
At the same time, though, it is a pretty dope super attack.
Oh, yeah,
no.
no.
I can't fault them too much.
Yeah, I think the UR should have been changed somewhat. Like, they could have figured out something else with that. Come on.
They could have had him just do, like, a black Kamehameha. Like, they could have, like, not just be, like, a basic Kamehameha, but they could have done some, like, cool animation for it.
Yeah, they really could have done more to it. I don't know. But those, as far as the animations go, that's that. So for the card descriptions, though, for those of you who don't know, I mean, of course, everybody knows at this point that they are the Extreme and Super leads, the 120 leads. The only thing different with these two, though, is you have to have a rainbow team. There's no way getting around it. That's the only way the leader ability works, which is kind of weird, but at the same time, a lot of people
But it's not like it's going to be an issue because you have so many good units at this point to choose from for each type. Like, I typically don't team build using LRs, like, because I know not everybody has the LRs because they're ridiculously hard to pull. Although, now that there's like 12 of them in the pull rates, it's a little easier, but still, you have so many good units for each type that this shouldn't even be an issue.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and especially with that, too, like, I was summoning a few days ago on the Tapion banner because I got, like, 45 stones after, like, not logging in for a while, and I was just doing some singles. I didn't even realize I got the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku until, like, I saw somebody post on Twitter. I was like, wait a second. And I went to go check on DBZ Space. I'm like, oh, this is the one that Dokkan's into him. So I didn't even realize it. But again, like, that just the rest of the LRs, he'd be my favorite because I just love Super Saiyan 3 Goku and, like, the movie that he's based on, Wrath of the Dragon and all that. Like, I love that shit. But,
can you imagine if you just fed him into like a spirit bomb Goku?
I'd be, oh my god, dude, people would kill me. But I don't know, like, that's why, yeah, I think you're right. Like, you have more options. I think you have way more options for like a super team than extreme team. Like, when I was team building for like the videos that that Speedy had uploaded, I mean, it didn't really matter too much because I was just trying to show off their super attack animation, but I just couldn't see much to do with villains. I was like, what good int unit even could I use? Like, I had Kid Buu and Buuhan.
See,
like, that was kind of about it.
They did put out a new Zamasu that I guess
right.
They made him intelligence because they're like, okay, you can run this guy, and he's not that bad. Like, I have him pulled up right now. Basically, he's kind of like a tank, and he also, like, heals with his super attack. So
yeah, it looks like he cuts the damage by 40%, and the more HP you have, the greater attack and defense increases with a max of 60%, which is my information, by the way, I'm getting from Gaming with Talon. He posted this on Twitter, all the translations and everything. And it's an interesting way they go about it. Same thing with Rage Trunks, so he does the same thing. The Strength one, which is that the one that goes UR, right?
Yeah, the strength one, but he gets up to like 120% with less HP, which I think is better because, like, more often than not, you're gonna have lower HP as opposed to more HP.
Yeah, I think I wish, like, I'm curious if they'll have some sort of thing because I don't think I've ever seen that before. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I've seen a character work like that. I'm curious if there's
I think LR Bojack works like that. Like, his defense and his attack are varied by how much HP he has. Correct me.
That I don't know. I'd have to double check. But I'm curious if they show then, like, at that point, like, how much he's giving, because I kind of hope, like, it's nice to have that be like, all right, he can do max 60, but, like, I hope they show you, like, hey, he's only giving you this much percentage right now just to know where I'm at. I don't know. It's not a big deal because it's like, what can I do? My HP is going to be wherever it's at. I'm going to get the stats wherever it's at. It's not like it's going to make a difference, but I don't know, just be a nice thing.
This Trunks, though, the Trunks is definitely going to get slept on, though, because, like, instead of running him, you're going to run, like, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You know what I mean?
As far as strength, yeah, unless you want to run 2 strength units, but you have way more options. Like, physical, right off the bat, you can run, if you don't run the agility Super Vegito, you're going to run the physical Super Vegito along with Fizz Trunk, the Fizz Gotenk, sorry. So, I mean, or I don't know how optimal LR Trunks would be on that team, but you have him also.
He has doesn't he have Prepared for Battle and Shocking Speed?
I believe so.
So yeah, then he would fit right in with everybody else.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think they're really good. Get for passives for Vegito Blue. So people were kind of upset that he doesn't counter, which, I mean, I don't care too much about it. Like, I think it's not that big of a deal.
I'm glad to see something different.
Yeah, because they've done it with, they've had 3 Super Vegitos, or 3 Vegitos, or I'm sorry, well, 3 Super Vegitos, and then you had Vegito Blue. Like, all of them countered, but then this one finally doesn't do with that. But I mean, he has a chance to do more additional attacks, medium chance to super with the additional attack, and every time he's attacked, his attack increases by 15%, and you can do that up till he gets to 150% attack boost, which is really nice.
Which is monstrous. Super Saiyan 4 Goku also has 150%, right? For his passive?
I think so, but I thought that was just like base, right? It wasn't like based on...
Yeah, no, his is just flat out, but I'm just like, just so people like really understand, like, this guy's gonna be hitting insanely hard.
Yeah, no, he still hits like stupidly hard. Like even with the Link I forgot who I had linked to him when I used him. And even then I think it was against like Kid Buu, which was like a type, what's it called, type disadvantage, but still. And then with Rose, I mean, he seems like a mix of like, I want to say you said before, it was like Rose, the original Rose.
Oh, it's the agility and it's merged the monster. Like literally, they just took those two for his passive, smashed them together, made it a little
and then
better.
like even the key plus the what's called Extreme Allies key plus 3. I think that came from, unless it came from one of those two, I'm pretty sure it came from Goku Black on Global, because that's what he had for his. Because I don't think JP had that, right? Where his passive was also key plus 3.
The agility one gave 3 key. I don't remember if he gave an attack buff. I don't believe he did.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not bad.
It's been the longest time since I've had to use it.
Yeah, I mean, attack 120%, all extreme allies key plus 3, defense plus 50%, and all enemy super types attack and defense minus 20%. And then for his SA, it works similar to Super Vegito, so all extreme type allies get a 30% increase for return. So, I mean, that's not too bad to have that, but still overall...
also, we didn't mention that Vegito Blue also further raises his attack and defense with his super attack. So these guys are just absolute monsters.
Oh, right, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if I were to summon, I don't care too much. I'm still going to keep up with news and things, but as far as playing the game, I don't know how much I'm going to be doing that. I mean, I can always showcase stuff because I have a private server, but otherwise, so if you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know. But otherwise, I mean, my biggest thing is just going to be focusing more on, it's just going to be focusing more on, I don't know, just keeping up with the news. So, just to keep you guys for it, and just my thoughts on it, really. But, I don't know, that's just kind of how I feel about Dokkan at this point, because...
You mentioned summoning, and I was like, I think if you're going to summon, you definitely have to go for Vegito Blue, because it's easier to build a hero team.
Absolutely, there's no fucking question. No question. Especially, let's see how the banners turn out to be, but absolutely.
Oh, if they roll out that global shaft again?
Yeah, and see, I mean, I kind of want to get into that too, about, like, just what's been going on with global, because I'm talking about Vegito Blue. LR Vegito Blue, of course, we knew had their whole LR election that seemed to be made specifically for global. Of course, some people thought it was like, oh, this is only going to be a global exclusive thing. Of course, most people knew with common sense that wasn't going to be the case. It was going to come to JP at some point, but my biggest thing was the fact that they released him. They released part of him. They just released the UR form, not even TUR. The fact they released that, and then on Global, we already see in the data files that he has a TUR form in there. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I understand, like, I'm sure JP had this already, like, set up and everything. They were probably going to release him. But the fact that they were doing this, it's like, I feel like they have to have some sort of connection, like... Because then what is Global Dokkan doing? Like, were they just making shit up? They're like, all right, well, we have these assets to work with. Let's hold this election and make Global feel special. But in the end, we waited so long just to know that, like, cool, we're getting an LR probably around the same time JP is, again, just similar to LR Broly. Like, Global got him first, but JP got him very soon after. It's like, it's nothing special.
And it's not just this, though. It's like this whole build-up that, like, you know, JP got, like, 300 stones for, like, an issue that Global kind of had, but it's still that salt in the wound that they got 300 stones. And then you look at the Super Gogeta and Strength Janemba banners and how those were kind of shafts and how they were made, how they like separated a bunch of units that you would need for either team. And then you have this, and you're just like it's just shaft after shaft after shaft, and I think this is the one that people are really starting to get fed up with.
Yeah, and I mean, I see a lot of people complaining, and I think some people kind of complain in not the best way. Like, people kind of just don't know what they're saying. They're just like, they just see it as taking the shaft, whatever. And again, Global has gotten some good things. Like, we got Ultra Instinct Goku super early, and like the banner was pretty good, and how they kind of dealt with that. But even so, like, a lot of people, even on the other end of people trying to defend the shaft about, you know, like, oh, look what Global got, look what we're getting. And I'm not saying everybody. Like, I was watching Animated Muscle. He uploaded a video just before we started this, and like I was watching that to see what he had to say, and he had some good points about, like, you know, he just doesn't care anymore, that it's just whatever happens. Like, he can't, like, our opinion isn't really heard in this space. Like, they've never done anything like that, but I've seen other games plenty of times be like, all right, we've heard the community, we understand what's going on, we're gonna stop.
BBS.
Yeah, BBS has done that before, like, with a lot of things. There are some things that they have switched up on, or some things they've kept still, even though the community hated it, but it's what they believe is better for the game. But for some stuff, they've actually changed it because they've heard what the community said, and with ideas they brought into the game, like updates and things like that, because the community, or they know that what the community is looking for, it can be useful. So just kind of how Bandai and Nikatsuki, like, they run these things, I think they're just, like, a bit off with it. Like I said, there's some people, like, I thought Muscle did a good job of explaining kind of just, like, how the shaft was and kind of what he thought about it, but some people were just like, oh, people just need to stop complaining and just shut up and deal with it, and it's like, that's not necessarily the case either, I don't think. Like, people have a right to voice their opinion, and I think in that case, like, I think Global was shafted. Like, I don't know how else you can really go about that.
The thing is, though, is that you gotta understand that, like, JP is their target audience, and so Global is always going to get the short end of the stick. But, like, I don't know, other games have done that and they've made it less obvious about it, and I just don't know. Like, Dokkan just seems to go out of their way to shaft the Global version.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's something about Dokkan. It's just they're just like, they just don't like it. Like, even Blazing, like, they were behind by what, like a month or so. They've managed to catch up easily, and now they're even with them, are they not?
They're dead even.
And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Brave Souls was the same way. They were a month back a while ago, just a few months ago. They were like a month between, and they're like, all right, let's bring it the same. And I'm like, that's dope.
They decided to jump the gap immediately. They were like, we're with them right now. They just started pumping out a bunch of banners.
I mean, that was a bit rough the way they did that, but it's like, I want to say...
But now we're caught up.
Yeah, personally, I think they chose a good time, because it's like, well, there's a lot of shitty banners. We can skip these. Dokkan can do the same thing. That's where they were losing themselves, too. Like, especially when they started releasing the 120 leaders. It took them how long to release them from the Super Saiyan 4s to the second set of the 120 leaders?
Dude, it took them forever to get through these guys, man.
It was ridiculous.
JP kind of blitzed it. Maybe, I don't know.
It's like, why are we getting...
I'm just crazy.
They don't even know... We haven't even gotten Super Saiyan 3 Broly yet, and we're already getting Strength Gohan, and we got Ultra Instinct Goku, and then Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega Shenron got their leader
every time.
I don't understand it.
It's like, every time it seems like they're trying to make this push to get caught up to the JP version. Like, right now, it's like, we're getting... Ultra Instinct Goku. In a couple of days, we're getting Ultimate Gohan. It's like, oh, dude, they're trying to catch up right now. They're getting into the category meta, but, like, they're gonna slow down somewhere. They do it every time.
That's what's happened, like, a couple times already. They start slowing down, and then they lose it. And there's so many things that's just, like, again, it just doesn't make much sense kind of how they're dealing with it. I think, especially, like you said, JP, this game is more attributed to, you know, these Japanese players, and, like, they just have a different way of going about it. Like, you see how much money these guys spend on this game, like, people in Japan. It's fucking insane. Like, they're buying cars, like, every month with how much money they put into this fucking game. But it's just because how they do things over there. So for here, it's kind of a bit more difficult, but that's why they have to understand how to balance it that way even. It's like...
Well, we do have some people over here in the western side that are wailing out on the game.
I want to say that too. A lot of people have defended their self-whaling, being like, well, I do this, like, I spend this much money, but that's like not even 1% of what these other guys spend. It's like, that doesn't matter. You're still being a whale. You can't try and defend yourself.
But it's a hobby, so you can't, like...
No, yeah.
As long as they're, like, able to provide for themselves, and...
Absolutely.
You know, it's not like becoming an issue. Have at it. Buy as much as you want.
Yeah, and like, that's the thing for me. Like, I always thought all the time, there was, at least at the beginning when I was first buying stones just through the app, that's what was happening to me. Once I started buying cheap stones, it was a bit easier. I was still managing myself as far as how much money I had for food and just, you know, going out and doing all this other stuff. But then that's where I started kind of losing myself, and it was because I just didn't feel confident in it. I don't know, just Dokkan died out for me really easy. That's why I haven't been able to play again, just because of that. And it's not... unfortunately, I'm just one person who really can't do free-to-play. Like, I don't want to feel like grinding for a lot of that stuff. I want to buy the things and spend the money. Even relating to a game I'm playing right now, it's going to be kind of off topic as far as it goes, but like the microtransactions are similar in the context. NBA Live. So I've been playing this game, and basically it works the same way where you can buy packs and stuff like that. You get players, you use them on your team. So, but in NBA Live, they had a special like bundle pack that they just released for Christmas, and they're basically like, listen, kid, you want to spend $20? Go ahead and buy this little bundle pack that we got. We are going to give you, and they gave me enough players to have a godly ass team with $20. What other game can I play that I spend $20 and I'm going to start off the bat with a godly fucking team like that? There's no other game I can think of that's like, if I spend just a tiny bit of money, that I'm not going to get shafted and I'm going to be able to actually play the game somewhat moderately. Like, it was crazy. Then I started looking at these other games. I'm like, Dokkan doesn't do that. You know, I can re-roll and get stones, but I have to get really lucky and try and pull certain people because I need a certain team to play. Like,
if Dokkan really wanted to improve, they should really look, because they own Blazing too. I feel like a lot of people know this, but the people that Bondi runs Dokkan and Blazing, if they were to copy some stuff from Blazing, it would make Dokkan so much better. Because Blazing, it's a free-to-play friendly game. You do not have to buy pearls. It's just you will earn a good amount of pearls. You just need to be patient, right? You need to have a decent team. You gotta be playing, and you could still get pearls. The other good thing about Blazing is that if you do all the steps in a banner, you are guaranteed to get the new characters. And I feel like if Dokkan incorporated some of those aspects into their game, like, hey, if you beat a Dokkan event with, you know, an advantage team, you get a stone. You beat it with a neutral team, you get 3 stones. If you beat it with a disadvantaged team, you get 5 stones. If they started incorporating that, and then they started doing the steps like they do in Blazing, where it's like, okay, you get to step 9, you're guaranteed 1 Gogeta. It's like there. And people would probably still summon after that, but it would make people so much more happy to get their Gogeta, and if they wanted to, they could press further to get dupes. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and even that, in that case, like you were saying about the 1, 3, and 5 pearls, like if you try and complete an objective, you get more for it. They need to throw something like that in Dokkan, where it's like, I don't just want it. Like, they have some missions and stuff like that that can give you 1 or 2
They
stones.
tried doing that with the Supreme Kai, but you only get his little gay medals, and you can get like Kais, and you can raise your team cost. And I'm like, that's great, but we need stones. What good is having a higher team cost or all these Kais if I have nothing to use them for?
That's why I think like they need to do something where it's like, give me more opportunities to get stones, like a free to play. And again, I can point to Bleach all fucking day because unfortunately it's just how I see it. I understand they're different games and how they work and the gameplay and everything, but just certain things that they can incorporate just to give a little bit back. Like with Bleach, I am still at a point where, you know, in order to get orbs, if you've been playing the story, you've played all the events and everything that are out, guess what? You can grind characters, max out their level, so it gives you a reason to keep characters and max out their level before you use them as ascension fodder, and I can get orbs for that. And it's like,
not to mention they bring out new events like at least weekly.
Yeah, and they give you more opportunities. They're like, hey, you can grind this, get 35 orbs. And again, the orbs don't equate as far as...
Dude, they even make it a note in their new missions they drop every week. They're like, hey, we put a new character in here. Make sure you max them out for the orbs. Like, they're trying to help the players out. They're like, look, buddy, we threw in a new character. Max them out, get your orbs.
Yeah, and I mean... like I was saying, like, the orbs don't match the stones. Like, 35 orbs is not equivalent to 35 stones. It is, like, 25 orbs is equivalent to 5 stones. So you kind of, like, multiply it by 5. But still, 35 orbs for maxing out a character, which is very, very easy to do, that's just something to throw in there to give us something extra to do. It's like, why not give me the opportunity to awaken an SR character, give me a stone or 2 for it? Like... so many people would be able to get more stones that way, and that's what Bleach has. Like, you can constantly grind characters, level them up. You can max out any level character, you will get orbs for. And especially a 5-star, max them to 5-star, you get 50 orbs, which is like 10 stones. Awaken them to a 6-star, which would be like, I guess, like awakening them to a TUR or maybe a UR. You get another 75 for maxing them out to level 150. And especially...
I feel like someone's gonna bring this up. I don't mean to interrupt,
no, you're good.
I feel like someone's gonna bring up the fact that Or they'd be like, well, I mean, Bleach gives you more orbs, but the rates are lower. But also in Bleach, you don't have to summon as often as you do in Dokkan. Like Dokkan, if they bring out a new unit, it might change the meta. You might have to get that unit onto your team. Bleach, I mean, Fullbring Ichigo came out like 7 months ago or something at this point, and he's still super relevant. So it's like, you summon and you get a decent character, you can ride off that character for months. Dude, Dangai Ichigo, you could still use him viably. Like, and he came out like a year ago.
Yeah, especially because this game's like based more on skill, not just like units. Even though I will say, like with the team I have in global currently, like I've still been dominating every single new event that's come out. I've always tried, like, can I dominate this event with this crappy strength team that I have? Because my strength team is Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the Strength Pikkon, Beerus Unawakened, the Father-Son Kamehameha Gohan I have awakened, Super Gogeta, and then I had somebody else I don't remember. Oh, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. And that team, still with 2 useless characters, which would be the Gohan and Beerus for me, I'm still slaughtering these events just because Super Saiyan 4 Goku can truck through them. And I guess you can kind of balance it that way, but it's like, I know it's not going to stay that way for long. I know I'm going to still need to summon for units eventually.
Oh, no, because they're bringing out, like, Super Battle Road. I heard the Hirudegarn event was really, really hard. So, like, they're starting to bring out these harder and harder events. And it's going to be like, they're going to try to push you to start summoning for more stuff. Plus, certain categories help out with certain events, like the Fusion category for that Gotenks event. It's like, if you don't have that, then it's like, well, guess you're grinding this the long way. It's not going to be as convenient for you. You're going to have to waste more stamina. Maybe you'll waste some stones refilling your stamina.
Yeah, and I understand, like, they want to push, like, hey, you should be summoning by more characters. But even still, like, again, with Bleach, they don't always push it. Of course, they'll push new characters, being like, look how good they are. They're going to be better than 90% of the characters that are out currently.
But you don't have
to. Like, I missed so many banners since I haven't played in the last few months. I've still been able to dominate events because I still have enough characters I can get links with to help out my main characters, like, again, Fullbring Ichigo or the Anniversary Ichigo. Like, I still have at least a few characters that are viable, and you're never going to be able to be like, well, I can't pull, unless you're that unlucky saying you can't pull a viable, and you only need really a few viable characters. With Dokkan, you constantly have to, like, you have to have so many different characters, so many different teams to work with. Like, you can't necessarily run one team.
Even if your units are bad, you have items. Like if you get lucky, like man, I pulled, like, I don't know, Kensei, and you're like, man, I'm depressed right now. I pulled Kensei, yeah. But then you pull a golden chappie off a ticket, your Kensei just turned beastly. Exactly,
and so, like, that's why they have more help for that. And so that's why I think with Dokkan, not to stretch this on too long about how long we've been ranting about it, but yeah, overall, I just think Dokkan needs to change a few things as far as how they're running things. I don't know if some people have said it falls on Akatsuki because they're the developers, but in my mind, if I'm not mistaken, all they are doing is doing what Bandai wants them to do. Like, hey, you should code this into the game, fix this in the game, do things like that when something hits their market. Like, for example, when duping happened, to ban them, or just recently with the cheap stones, that's actually been hit. So, you know, that's become a problem now, where that's kind of falls on Bandai, not Akatsuki. Of course, Akatsuki's going to have to figure it out and learn how to deal with it in their programming because they're developing the game, but I think Bandai's the one behind the wheel, being like, it's like they're the ones behind the wheel, and Akatsuki are just the auto mechanics, sort of. I guess that'd be the best way to put it.
Yeah, I kind of feel you. But yeah, since we've been talking about BBS for a little bit, you feel like we should transition over to that?
Oh, yeah, no problem. All right, yeah, so let's get on over to Bleach Brave Souls. So, again, a few things kind of coming out here. So, of course,
Bankai Kenpachi, dude. Enough of this small talk. Let's just get right into what the people want.
Okay.
When are they coming out?
Okay, so they had shown a clip on the last live stream about manga characters, three manga characters that are most likely coming out at the end of the year, and reason being because it seems they have the raid characters for them already in the system. But they had put out a little short trailer thing for Bankai Kenpachi, Yachiru, and
no, that's it. There's
more
Kenpachi,
to it. Are you kidding me?
No.
Bankai Retsu? Are you? You're crazy.
I mean, we didn't really get any specifics on what it does in the manga.
We still don't know, but that's why maybe this will reveal a little bit more. But again, So they showed a little bit of a trailer for what's going on with that, and I think it looks sick. Yachiru honestly looks awesome. It's like I thought she'd be the character I'd want the least, just because it's like Unohana and
And
Kenpachi.
before
Like,
she has Frenzy.
yeah, I know. Oh my god! But like, yeah, those all three of them are insane. And again, as far as when they're coming out, it seems to be speculated they're coming out at the end of the year, just because it's like they dropped this trailer on us now. And the fact that they have already put in the what most likely seems like the raid characters for them, because they have a 5-star Unohana and a 5-star Yachiru raid, so it's like it only makes sense.
And last time they did this, they actually were like, "Oh, it's going to be a while before he releases." They didn't say, "Hey, it's going to be a while this time." They just dropped the trailer. And that was it.
Yeah, so it's like most likely it seems like they're going to be putting these guys out as like the new year. Hopefully they do step ups or something as well. And it's just like. So for Bankai Kenpachi, I mean, they had him in his Bankai form. He was, he in his demon form. My thing is first off, what I'm assuming it's most likely just going to be his ult or a super. So
Nah. See, what I think is going to happen
or a special
is when Shikai Kenpachi, you use your ult and then you turn into Bankai Kenpachi.
And see, that's one thing I thought too. I'm like, they did that with what's his name, Sajin, where you used his.
But Sajin, it wasn't that extreme. You just like whenever he does his normal attack string, he gets the giant.
Yeah,
armor.
and that, I mean that's still like extreme. Like as far as it was just like a new mechanic that they were. It's like, wow, really? It's like your super continues on,
but it doesn't change like his entire appearance. Like it's like because they might have to change like his entire like appearance, attack string, like
that'd be way. Yeah, they'd have to do so much more. Also, I keep calling it like super and ultimate. It's just it's a fucking special attack. Like I'm just getting mixed with so many different games, but you guys understand what I mean. So, yeah, no, I think if they do that, that'd be sick. If it's like his special turns him into Bankai Kenpachi, or even if they release like multiple versions of these characters, it's like they release if they just have a Shikai version, then they release his a standalone Bankai version of him like later on, which would be sick. But even then, if it's a Shikai version, because I remember you showed me, I haven't read through the manga too much. I know about his Bankai and everything.
Oh wow!
But I know his. Fuck, I haven't had time. Okay, but anyways. I know his Shikai's fucking massive, and it's like if they're gonna put that into the game with him, like it's gonna be bigger than him. So what the fuck? Like, how are they gonna even model that? Like that thing, it's gonna be like fucking Yami.
The thing's gonna take up like half of the screen.
It's gonna be like the size of like what's his name? Yeah, like it's gonna be like the size of him just walking around like that. Which that I would love to see still, like in his what's it called, like his number or his resurrection form. Like,
dude, you know how hilarious that would be, just stomping around his Yami.
That'd be so fucking
just blasting people with Saros.
Yeah, it's freaking amazing. But yeah, so I mean that's gonna be interesting to look forward to. Again, Unohana still like they can maybe clarify something as far as what her Bankai does. Like I think that'll be sick because it's like we don't know the red mist that she creates, like whether it's blood or poison or acid, like because my thing is still like she does the whole thing with her sword where she like extends that like what's it called, that like string or whatever. That's why I would still assume it's blood because it's like I don't know if I've ever seen like acid like physical like that, like more of like
I'm pretty sure it's blood, but it's just like the whole fight is just it's so out there, man. It's metal, don't get me wrong. It's metal as fuck, but it's just out there too. It's pretty trippy.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched the fight because what was his name? Soul Madness had uploaded like a colorized version of it, and just oh my god, that's why I watched it. I was just like, it's so sick. So I still definitely need to catch up on the manga. But anyways, I think that's pretty much what's going to be coming, and hopefully they do step ups. On top of that, I mean, we don't have much else. I know they talked about in the news. There's going to be see, I didn't see that in the news, so I don't know if it was somewhere else, but there was something mentioning where basically for the next 5 days, if we log in, we get 5 orbs a day, so it's 25 orbs, as well.
Oh, they're also resetting the co-op.
No, yeah, co-op. Yep, co-op is also going to be reset tonight, so the 27th at least, as far as we're recording this. So, at that point, then we can get another 600 free orbs, which is freaking phenomenal. Even though that's only like 2.5 multis, it's still fucking nice.
But how cool is that? They're like, dude, these people have been playing for a year. Let's just reset their orbs real quick. Like, how cool is that? Like, just
I hope they do that like every year. It's just like every year they're like, yeah, let's just reset it again and again. So that's nice to have at least. And Yeah, so they're doing the whole 5 orbs a day for the next few days. The Ichigo banner, which is going to start from New Year's Day on until whenever, and that's supposed to be like, I guess, like a free single.
See, I've heard a few things about that. The first is that I heard it's going to go on for like the month, and you get a free single summon a day. The other thing I've heard is that it's going to be around for like the entire year, and you get a free single summon.
See,
a
if
day,
that's the case, that'd be insane. Because it's like, what?
See,
I wonder
like,
if they're the only 5
I've heard it
stars.
described.
I'm assuming they would be if that.
Well, no. Like it'd be like it'd be essentially be like getting a free premium summon a day. But like, you know how like Dokkan kind of had like banners that would pop up. You do your ticket, and then after you use your ticket, it disappears.
Yeah.
It'd be something like that, where like you log in, you get to do your free single summon, and then the banner disappears.
Now, do you think like, because they said that it's gonna be Ichigo, so do you think like at first it's gonna be, in that case, like an Ichigo banner, but then after a while they'll just switch it to be like a premium banner, or
maybe, or like it would just be like, the only 5 stars you can get are Ichigos, but then like all the other 4 stars and 3 stars are in there, which also would be pretty good, because then like, let's say you don't have certain 3 stars and 4 stars, you can pick those guys.
Yeah, and again, it's more orbs that way, so it's nice. And then what was the other thing? So the mega raid festivals. So it's going to be more raids, higher drop rates for the festivals on everything too. Like Hogyoku rates are going to be up more. The crystal rates and jewel rates and stuff like that. The character drop rates, as well as accessory fusions, are going to be out for the entire time. Like, it's not going to be a type a day or whatever, like how they've done in the past with every day of the week. So I mean, that's good. I like the direction they're going with, like. And especially with the update they've dropped recently. I know you haven't played the game in a bit, so I don't know if you've kept track of what they've done exactly, but like just the certain stuff they've added. Actually, other thing I forgot for New Year's too. They're doing the frenzy courses. So, which is going to be insane, because now it's like you have more of an opportunity to just grind those, and especially with what they've introduced recently, which is
those are way too OP. Because you get like 100 orbs for completing all the courses, and then there's all those units you can max out.
Yeah, the only thing is you can't get the units, but it's still like nice to have them, I guess. Like, for example, like I just got the Yoruichi.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the regular.
Oh no, regular intensive courses are still crazy, but no, yeah, they're dropping the frenzy courses as well, so they're gonna have all the characters in there, and especially like if you have certain frenzy characters, like Yoruichi's like really good, Frenzy Renji, which he's actually out currently, he has his own quest, but
the Frenzy Byakuya is also really good.
So it's like I have a lot of these characters. Honestly, like, I have so many frenzy characters that I haven't touched as far as getting to 6-star. So it's like, this is just another opportunity for me to be like, all right, let me grind these up. And one of the biggest things that they dropped in there was the fact that you can run most of these events, other than for raids, really, you can run most of these events 5 times in one run. So basically, you click a checkbox that's like, use 5 soul tickets, and it runs the game for you, or you run through it once, but then it gives you a simulation of what the other 4 times would be, so you don't have to run it 5 times in however long. So it's like, it's just a nice time saver, and I think that's a nice thing to do. It's like, if you want to run it so one by one, you can, but it'd be stupid.
Because Brave Souls, I mean, we can all agree on this. It was a very time-consuming game. Like, you'd be playing that game for like pretty much all day. I remember there'd be days that I would literally have to play Brave Souls like all day. And so it's a nice little thing to kind of like be like, hey, we get it. It's a mobile game. You're supposed to be able to like just play it when you're on the toilet, you're going on the train or something.
Especially with an auto option like that. Like, nice. With games like that and an auto option, it's like, especially if you're prepared to be able to handle auto, it's like, we want to give you the opportunity to not just sit there, have to focus all the time, and just do auto like that. So like using 5 tickets, like every mission like that is always useful. So I mean, I don't know, like that's why I think Dokkan, even just the simplicity of 1 soul ticket counts as a mission, I even love that on its own. Whereas like Dokkan, it's like, oh no, you have to use like 50 stamina. Right now it's half stamina, but it's still, that's so much.
I want to say revolutionary in the mobile game market, because like every other mobile game runs on like stamina. There's a few others that run similarly to like Brave Souls, but they're very few and far between, because like the ability that like every mission is essentially equal. Like you could run jewels, and essentially like the what are they called? The raids are essentially like Dokkan missions, essentially in the difficulty. You can run that for the same, like just 1 ticket. Story is 1 ticket. Co-op's 1 ticket. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it's like, I know it helps like on the lower end too. It's like, oh well, if I had like 10 tickets, you know, or if I'm like running like story quests, like a lot of the stamina is going to be lower. It's like I can run way more story quests at a point than like if it was just a switch to it just uses by one. But I don't know, it's still like, you know, in some cases, but it's like for the larger ones especially, it's like once you're done with the story, you're not going to have that many low stamina missions, really. You're going to be doing more of like the boss rush and the Dokkan festival events, like, you know, you're not going to be really running these lower stamina events. So it's like I think it's just be more beneficial to be like, let's just lower it to where it's like you don't use, and this, of course the soul tickets are separate, they're not, you know, stones where you can refresh. You can use orbs to refresh obviously, but I don't know, I think it just works better like that, at least the way I think about it. Like
now, games like Blazing do try to help because they'll have a period where they're like they'll cut the stamina cost in half and they'll like do triple EXP. So like, they try to like really help you out with like rank, but then they also like they make it more affordable to be able to run these character missions and stuff. So I mean, other games try, but I mean Bleach by far their whole ticket thing is just amazing at this point, with the fact that not only is it like super effective in the ability to use multiple tickets to run, but the fact that you can run any mission for a single ticket is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and right now it's like even with you know, for example, like you have crystal grinding. It's I guess you can equate crystals to, I don't know, orbs maybe in a sense. I mean that's kind of how it's
maybe,
sort of based off of.
I would say it's more to like grinding the metals in Dokkan. Like the metal, like it's more like those because you can run them multiple times and there's type specific, or like if you do Blazing, it'd be like running the scroll or the ramen missions essentially.
Yeah. So similar to that. But then the fact that I'm just like, all right, instead of running it 5 separate times, which I'm gonna get the same thing practically, let me run it 5 times at once and just get everything at once and be done with it. So for running crystals, for example, again, I can run it 5 times and waste, instead of wasting 5 minutes for like 1 minute for each run, I can waste 1 minute and get 5 times the stuff and just be done with it. So I like
Bonanzas is now like the most OP thing in the game.
Yeah, and even that a lot of times. So even on top of that, so the kind of one big problem, especially if they were going to be doing something like that, was we had 5 soul tickets to be able to be recharged. So like that's the stamina cap essentially, like for everybody. The fact that it's now increased to 25, the fact that I can just be like, all right, I'm gonna run like let's say Cones Bananas 5 times and then just let myself recharge. Like, yeah, it's 15 minutes a ticket and you're looking at about I think it was 225 minutes. So
yeah,
I guess just putting that, it's almost about 4 hours or so, about 3.5, 4 hours. That's a lot of time, don't get me wrong, but it's still not bad to be able to be like, do it that way instead of let me run these all single-handed one by one. And
I mean, if you think about that, that means you could essentially just play BBS like 3 times a day. Like you wake up in the morning, run some missions.
That's what I do.
Play in the afternoon.
That's what I do.
Play at night.
That's exactly what I do. So it's just like, and especially I prepare myself with like certain events, like the XP events. Like right now they have the Rukia mission as well as the Cones, the Mega Bonanza. So it's like I've been, you know, making sure that my characters are like max level so that I can, you know, use those effectively, and it still works. I wish I could do those 5 times. That'd be sick.
Now, I know this is like not as hype as the manga banner, but we are going to be getting a New Year's banner as we have every year. And I just wanted to kind of like, I don't know, do you have any like thoughts on who you think they'd be introducing as a New Year character? Because for every other holiday, they've given us new characters. You know, Halloween, Christmas, White Day. They've been introducing new characters for these special holidays. And New Year's, I mean, all we have is the Byakuya, the Ichigo, and a Kaien. So it's like, I don't know. Oh, we also have an Orihime. So that's another thing. But who do you think that they would do for a New Year's character?
I mean, I don't know, like...
Or who do you want to see? Is the question.
So, now, because I've only started playing literally at the beginning of this year, so like January, or like towards the, I think, mid or end of January.
It's about February.
Did they, for the New Year's characters, were they specific as far as like outfits or anything? Or,
yes.
Well, whatever the... Were they? Because I would have to see how they look.
A white coat. Orihime has this like super, like, luxurious pink kimono. And Kaien has, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's a very like festive thing that he's wearing. Ichigo has something similar to him, and of course Rukia has that like blue kimono that she's wearing. So it's very like festive-y in the mood.
I don't know, like I think it'd be. So you said we have, what do we have New Year's right now? Byakuya and who else?
The 5 stars are Byakuya, Orihime, and Kaien. The 4 stars are Ichigo and what's his face?
I think 5-star Ichigo, maybe a Kenpachi would be kind of cool. Toshiro maybe.
Toshiro,
I'm just kind of listing off more like favorite characters.
The thing is, they could do anybody because they gave us a White Day Ukiura, and that's like the last person you would expect for White Day.
And see, that's fucking awesome too. The fact that they're just like with these holiday characters. First off, they're giving us more types of characters to like have and like just to collect. But the fact that it's like, yeah, we're just gonna make up shit on the spot. Like,
all right,
that's so sick.
My top 3 that I think we're gonna be getting. If any of these 3 are right, I don't know. Somebody owes me a cookie. All right, I'm thinking Uryu.
I'll buy you a few cookies.
Yoruichi. Jesus Christ. And Yami. Those are my 3 guesses.
You said who's the first one?
I think we're gonna get if it's a Yoruichi, an Uryu, or a Yami. And I think they might do Yami just to throw everybody off. I'm waiting for that curveball.
I think it's gonna be that'd be interesting. I think it's going to be Aizen. I think Aizen could be one. I'll give 5 just to be kind of safe, but I think we can have either Aizen, a 5-star Ichigo, Kisuke. Do we have a Rukia yet? I don't remember.
There's a 4-star Rukia.
I think a 5-star Rukia would be coming, and maybe a 5-star Orihime.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go with 5 options, then I'm gonna throw in Ginjo and Grimmjow in there as well.
Ooh, Grimmjow would be freaking awesome. I feel like I'm gonna see Aizen. Maybe Yami.
Don't steal my answer.
Yamamoto. I meant to say Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. That would be hilarious. Yo, can I get a Valentine's Yamamoto?
Short and sweet. We're short and sweet. Yo, freaking
dude, short and sweet would be so good for New Year's because New Year's is like partying and getting lit and short and sweet.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Dude, what's it called? I could already imagine Yamamoto just being in like a. For some reason, I immediately pictured his head on Aizen's body in his White Day setup. So it'd be like. Like, hey, lady.
Yamamoto's just like, I don't, dude, this is gonna turn into us like just literally naming off every single character in like a New Year's outfit. Like just as we just start slowly going through the cast, like I think Latato.
Maybe I should just like Photoshop it together, just see what we can come up with. That'd be so. I'd be so down for that. Who else? Like, I guess that'd be kind of it for me, really, that I can think of. Jushiro, maybe.
I think that was the last thing we had for BBS, right?
Alright guys, so putting this a little bit towards the end here after the whole Bleach thing that we were talking about, so we kind of gave our speculations as far as what was going on for New Year's and the manga characters and everything like that, but we just had recorded it yesterday, or at least time of recording this, and at that time, after that, they had actually released the characters, released all their stats and everything like that, and released the gameplay, so for the gameplay, I'll link you guys to the K-Lab's live stream down in the description so you guys can check that out. But we're going to be going over the stats and everything like that and seeing kind of what's going on. Because some of the things we kind of had mentioned in there, we kind of predicted right. So it's pretty, they're looking really, really good, all 3 of these guys. So, yeah, we have Kenpachi, we have Unohana, and we have Yachida. Who do you want to start off with? Yeah. Like his SP is almost one of the highest in the game, with the exception of like a couple people. So he's really high up there. Long Reach, Bruiser, Frenzy, Devastation, and Poise. And on top of that, one of the things that we had mentioned was if he were to use his special, whether he was gonna, it was just like an animation that he was gonna go in his Bankai and be done, or is he gonna stay in it like sort of like Sajin's, how his special lasts afterwards. And from what we saw in the live stream, it does. We don't have any sort of specification as far as how long it lasts. Some people said like 30 seconds, something like that. I don't know. But basically, when you use a special, he goes into his Bankai, and then you actually are able to use that for a little bit. And so he seems really, really good. I mean, they set him up pretty well in the live stream with all the accessories and stuff, but...
Even if it's, I I doubt it'd be like you go into his Bankai and then you just stay that way permanently until you die. But I mean, even if it's like 30 seconds, that should be more than enough time. Like, say you're in like a boss room or something, to just drop your special, do some damage, and then just start wailing on them. I mean, even in like co-op, that should be enough. So,
yeah, I mean, a lot of people were saying it's also just, as far as the manga was concerned, like, it does pay, I don't want to say pay tribute, but like it's still going with the manga, like how they dealt with it, like how when I guess Kenpachi used his Bankai, like it didn't last that long, so it kind of just played along with it, which is it's just nice.
His Bankai essentially tears him apart.
Yeah, like I mean, I like how they paid attention to detail there and just kept with that. So I mean, that's really good. You know, everything again will be down in the description as well. Like we'll link the Brave Souls FYI character links and everything like that, so you could check them out. But yeah, I mean, so far Kenpachi's already looking like a fucking beast.
But can we talk about Unohana though?
Unohana, all right, yeah. So it should be the next one then. Yachiru Unohana.
The character I didn't think I would care about. Like I think I said like, oh yeah, Kenpachi's the only one I would care about, and then we get Unohana and Yachiru's stats, and dude, she has like everything, man. She's got Flurry, she's got Poise, she's got Medic, and then she's got like super other like really good buffs, like a 30% Berserker, and then she has 16% DR. So like she has everything, man. The only thing is that I don't think it's a team heal, but I think that's what Medic does,
Medic.
So.
Her special, it does heal the whole team by 60%, which is pretty good. So she still hits for a decent amount with her special, but she also heals the entire team by 60%, which is really freaking nice.
Oh yeah, because I was gonna say that her strong attack too. It says it's a self heal, but then I was like, well, Medic adds more people to that, so she would be healing her party. So she's just gonna be ridiculously good as like a medic, and she's gonna hit stupid dumb hard with 766 attack.
Yeah, and her normal attack string seems so smooth and so quick. Like I'm trying to think who to compare to. I guess like Shunsui kind of. That's how I felt like when I was like test playing him when he originally got released. Like she seems sort of like that. Like she just seems.
You never got
yeah,
him.
I know. Fuck off. But I don't care if I can pull her. That'd be much better. But yeah, she is so like she seems so quick with her normal attacks. Like her animation is freaking amazing. So I mean, she's really dope. I'm hoping I like all three of these characters, to be honest. Yachiru, of course, like not obviously high on the list compared to those two, but she's still not bad.
Yeah, she's the one that everyone's going to want the least. But, I mean, she's the only one that I've seen the gameplay for, because I'm still waiting for them to do the Twitter videos. I don't think they're out as of recording this. But, I mean, from the gameplay I've seen of her, she's actually really surprised me. I really like her Nad string. And she's very well balanced. Obviously geared more towards special attack. But, I mean, she's got a ton of really good buffs, dude. She's definitely going to be a solid pull.
Yes, she got Sprinter, Long Reach, Bruiser, Berserker, Bombardment. She has Weakened Defense, which, if I'm not mistaken, there is nothing like that, right? There's no, not that I know.
We have a few. There's like Fullbring Ichigo has like Weakened Attack. There's a few. I think the new Grimjo had Weakened Defense. I don't know. We've had stuff like Weakened Defense, Weakened Attack for your skills before, so it's not new. But the thing that's really good about it is that when you add the Weakened Defense, basically applies before your special hits, so it weakens their defense, then they get hit with the special, so that it makes them hit ridiculously hard on top of Yachiru having bombardment.
Yeah, and she has 737
really
SP,
amazing,
which is really freaking good. So she's up there as one of the top like spiritual pressure characters. So I mean, she's still pretty good. And then she also is a 14% strong attack recharge time. Cooldown. So, I mean, she has that, too, so that's not bad. I think, what was it, Kenpachi?
Do you want to talk about the banner?
Strong attack?
About how kind of the banners are kind of like,
So, you were saying, so I haven't seen the banner, actually. Is it on the game already?
I don't believe so. I remember, like, there were some images leaked. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it was a lot of Fullbring arc characters. It was like Byakuya, Rukia, Tsukishima, Toshiro, and like characters like that. But there wasn't any like Fullbring Ichigo. There was no Fullbring Kenpachi. It was, I don't know. It just can't. It's kind of like the other manga banner all over again. But I mean, at least these other characters aren't bad. Like if you pull Fullbring Byakuya, he's a 25% sad link. He'll be amazing on your Kenpachi, especially if you do his link slots, because Kenpachi or Byakuya will give him a lot of SP. Then you have Rukia will be 14% recharge time. That's always a good link to have. But I don't know. It's just those things where people feel like we're getting shafted with the banners. But, like, at the same time, like, they're not going to put, like, Don Guy, Fullbring, Bosto all on one banner.
Yeah. Also, so one other thing that I was just looking at. So they are going to be step-up banner. This is going to be a step-up banner. So... Yeah, I didn't see that, but, I mean, you get some decent stuff. It doesn't look like rates or anything are changed. Wait, no, Thirst Summons times 10. Oh, no, so that's as far as singles looks like. So, I mean, that's not bad for the single.
Oh, so they're bringing back the
single so it's like you get a free single summon,
all right.
Free skill key for 15 orbs, 20 orbs, 10 free drops to each kind, and then the next 4 steps are all 25.
Oh, you get a free skill key? Dude, that's
and then you get a free Hogyoku's Will, Editing Brush, and a 3-star Power Heart. I mean, that's not bad for singles. And then for multis, I mean, looks pretty good. Everything is still, like, of course, it's not necessarily, discounted, but it's still, like, you're getting stuff out of it, I guess. You get a 5-star guaranteed in step 6, 4-star or above in step 3. So, I mean, you're getting some good stuff at least.
Yeah, but still, this is one of the few moments I'd be like, all right, everybody needs to take notes on Blazing's step-up summons because their summons are amazing. Even though I keep getting shafted, I like the way that their step-ups are structured. Where it's like, you start off with 2 discounts, then you do a full price, then you get a half-off summon, then you do 2 full prices, then you get another half-off, then I think you do 1 full price, and then you do 2 full prices with the last one being guaranteed, like, the banner character. Like, I just think that's super amazing, because it's like, okay...
You said Blazing, right?
Your Pearl...
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about, like, this is where, like, other games need to take note from Blazing, where it's like, at least at the very end, it should be guaranteed, like, okay, you're going to get either Yachiru, or Kenpachi. So it's like, you should be guaranteed at least one of them.
I mean, I wouldn't think that'd be a bad idea, but I think a game like Bleach, I feel like it's more difficult since you're not necessarily running a team, you're going by character, that makes it so broken. It's like, I mean, they are still at least being like, all right, you spent enough money, let's give you at least one of these characters, but still. And looking at the...
Oh, then they should probably...
Yeah. I was going to say, looking at the rest of the banner, it's not too bad. I mean, got some decent characters.
It's like, yeah, you can't fully apply what Blazing does to every game, because, like, Bleach, like, yeah, if you were guaranteed to get one of the new characters by doing just 1 round of step-ups, then that would be a little broken. They would probably have to implement it like, oh, if you go through the steps, I don't know, like, 3 times, then you're guaranteed it. Or if, like, you go through it, like, twice, then you're guaranteed one of the characters. Like, something like that.
I mean, it's going to take 1,400 orbs to do all 7 steps, so it's...
To be fair, though, like, most people spend, like, 2,500.
That's why I'm grinding. I've been grinding recently really hard, just trying to rack up on stuff to just work on leveling people up. I mean, yeah, the banner, as far as what I'm looking forward to, there is the Noitoro, so that's something that I really want to try and get, because I don't have him.
Yeah, I forgot he's in there.
And then there's Fullbring Toshiro, just because I don't have a Toshiro, really, like a good one. He's not that I'll really go for him anyways, but...
Well, I mean, he's still a solid purple unit, though.
Yeah, and I mean, on top of that, I have literally everybody else in the banner. Like, there's Rukia, Riruka, Byakuya, Tsukishima, Uryu, Kugo, and then Grimjow. So, it's not that bad of a roster, but, like, for people who've been playing a bit.
At least there's no one like Kensei, Love, or Rose in there.
Yeah.
Like, those are characters that nobody wants. At least, like, if you get any of these other characters, you'd be like, yo, these are dope characters.
Yeah. I mean, I still want to try and go for an Ahana. I mean, I have a few decent heart characters, but I think she'd be, like, incredibly helpful right now. It's like I have Gin, I have the older Ulquiorra, I don't even know, Tsukishima. Like, they were cool and all that, but I kind of would rather have her.
Yeah, but, I think that's really it for, like, the news as far as that goes, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's all it was for, what's it called? That's all it was for Brave Soul. So yeah, we just wanted to throw that in because since the information has been released, we kind of wanted to touch upon that, but still sort of leave our thoughts in there as far as like before and after. So just so you guys can have that. So it's still not gonna be too long, but because when I edited it,
before anybody flames us and is like, "Oh, dude, the characters have been released," and we're like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah. I mean, so this will still come out a couple days later, but it's practically edited and everything. So I'm pretty much done, luckily, from here. So not much work left to do. Alright, yep, and now we'll be going on to Blazing.
Alright, so we're going to be coming over to Blazing, and over on Blazing, it's kind of hype right now. We got a couple of characters that are been announced. We also know that a few events are going to be coming out, specifically a Kid Tobirama event, and he's looking all right, but also like not too good at the same time. He's a free unit, so not like he's super special or anything. It'll be more pearls basically. As far as units go, we have Indra, Ashura, Hashirama, Madara, and a Sage Kabuto coming out. And I'm just going to kind of tear into this right now because Ned isn't as well versed in Blazing at the moment. He's just made his account and trying to get a feel for things.
Well, I mean, I've had my account for a while. Like, I always just kind of like come back every now and again. Like the first time that I made this account was a few months back when I believe either Six Paths Naruto had dropped or it was the new Killer Bee, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was when I came back.
No, it was Six Paths Naruto because you were summoning for him. Remember?
Right. I ended up getting Killer Bee in him, but in his banner. But
5 of those dudes, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I'm still trying to learn the game here and there. It's like I sort of understood it for a bit, but after not playing gacha games at all for like the past few months, especially Blazing, which I didn't play much to begin with, it kind of fell off for me. So, I mean, I'm trying to learn again so that I could at least have some more insight. But yeah, I'm getting there.
But I mean, I will teach him, ladies and gentlemen. Do not fret. I am the master of Blazing.
So yeah, as I go on though, if I choose to say something or do something that you guys are like, what the fuck, you can blame it on him because he's the one teaching me.
No, hold on, no. That's just him being a bad student. Let's get this clear.
It's the teacher's the bad one, not the student.
No, don't give me any of that. But anyway, so we can't really speak on the new Madara because we have some information on him, but all we've gotten is the Japanese version of his character with all the text, so we really can't read that. We can kind of make a few things out, like his abilities, and we have seen his super attacks. We could discern his range and all that, but nothing really too special about that. We have the same thing for Hashirama, but since he's out, I actually went through the liberty and trying to figure more of this out. And for him at least, he's supposed to be a PvP unit, but there is no way in hell that I'm ever gonna Blazing Awaken this dude, because as just a regular 6-star, he has 2,110 HP, 1,922 attack, and if you Blazing Awaken him, he goes down to 1,738. Jesus Christ, 17,000 attack. It'd be ridiculous.
1738.
He's got 1738 HP, and then he's got 1542 attack, and that's pretty terrible for a mid-range unit, whereas if you just keep him as a 6-star, it's a pretty solid mid-range unit. And then if you keep him as a 6-star, he has a chakra reduction for his first ability, 3 self-healing abilities, and then his last ability is just kind of, we don't talk about that. It's just an extension of his status, which I believe is a mobilization. But then his jutsu are absolutely amazing. He has the wood golem, which we don't know exactly what it does. It's probably going to lower attack or HPC, or like Hashirama usually does. Or it's going to, that's all I had to say. And then his second jutsu hits all people on the field, similar to Ten Tails Obito. And as we know, it does have a status, which is probably going to be the immobilization, because it's the Deep Forest Emergence with the pollen, which if you've seen the show, it's going to immobilize people. But yeah, he's pretty good. I don't know why you would Blazing Awaken him. You do, you see that he gets a speed buff and he gets some defensive abilities, but really it's nothing special. It's not like most other units where I'm yeah, I definitely want to Blazing Awaken them because they get so much. The one-tailed Naruto, if you Blazing Awaken him, he gets more self-healing and he heals for more on those healings. The regular 6-star only gets 100, whereas the awakened one gets 200 per ability. So it's just or the Neji. The new Neji gets 2 self-healing abilities, which self-healing is one of the best abilities in the game. Just by far, it's unrefutable at this point. So I don't know. I'm never going to awaken him if I'm able to pull him, although my luck on Blazing has been absolute garbage compared to my boy Zenova over here.
I mean, yeah, because my thing is at least as far as Blazing goes, and it's any other certain games that I try and play but I'm not aware of, it's more I'm just summoning because the unit, either I like the character itself or I'm just kind of summing because people are saying they're good. Like, I just came back recently because of me talking about making the podcast, so I was like, all right, let me go back and check what's up. And I saw that there's the new banner with the Kakashi and the Sakura, and people were like, the Sakura is kind of one you want to go for. So I did manage to pull her, and on top of that, I pulled a 6 Paths Naruto dupe. I managed to pull 2, if not 3, of that Obito dupe, the one with his broken mask. Like, so I'm pretty, I guess, content with what I've gotten so far. I'm like on step 8. Like, I just did the last step that had a 25 pearl multi. So, I mean, I don't have much to grind, though, so now I'm, like, kind of stuck here as far as that, but hopefully I can try and keep playing more so I can get into the game, so that I can actually, understand how it works and everything like that. I don't know if PvP will be... Yeah, it's like, I don't know if PvP is going to be something that I'm going to keep up with, just because, like, even though I'm all about the competitive scene, like, I at least enjoy, not that I'm good, but I enjoy, playing competitively. It's just... I don't know, some people I know it's pay to win up the ass, and I'm not really about to step into that. Because that game, it's like, it's pay to win, but I would like to see, I kind of want to do my research, but I'd like to see if skill plays any factor. Because...
You do have to be smart. You got to move your units to the right place, but definitely having the better units, that does almost guarantee you the win.
Yeah, it's like if you were to give myself... like that, like if someone was like, all right, I have got like the best account for PvP possible, like literally there's nothing that can beat it, and then they give it to me and I end up managing to screw things up, at that point it's like, skills somewhere.
If you give like the best PvP like team to like, I mean, my boy Ned over here, he might just fondle with it.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm curious if I could still beat people in PvP just without knowing what to do, because again, that's like, I know there's some skill involved, but that's the thing, it's like a lot of time in some certain games, it's like, as long as you at least can play the game well. I'm more about skill rather than that. It's like, if you can pay to win, but you can still get dominated with the best team or best characters you have just because you're not good enough, that's what I like to see, rather than, oh yeah, I bought this whole team and I somewhat know how to play, so I'm still going to slaughter you every time just because my units are better than yours. So, I
mean, that's kind of the whole point of like the PvP units. I mean, I've seen some people make decent teams with no PvP units, but it's just like, you're just at a disadvantage not having them. You know what I mean? Like, they're specifically built for PvP, except for that Hashirama. That Hashirama, I don't know what they were doing with that. Like, you don't awaken that guy. You leave him as a 6-star. All right?
So, yeah. I mean, on my end, I'm still going to try and figure things out, hopefully. So I can at least have some more input, because you kind of explained everything. It's like, I don't know, I think Ashra and Indra are just cool characters for me. That's why I might go for them. Probably not, but
I think you should definitely go for Indra, because the whole dynamic they have is that Indra you get through Ninja Road's out for 20 days. You should have plenty of time to be able to max them out. And then Ashra is you get him through PvP coins, and he's built more as a PvP unit, but as I've told you, I just don't think he suits that niche very well, because he gets bonuses for speed, and like, you can tell that they're really trying to make him that guy, because his first jutsu gives him like perfect dodge and a barrier, I believe. But the thing is that it has a 6 jutsu cost, so it's not like you can just start off the match, boom, get some perfect dodges and a barrier so you can just start soaking up damage. It's like, you gotta survive like 2 turns. And so it's kind of iffy about that. And they have him as a speedy character, so you might have him up front. So I don't know. I'm not super sold on Indra, mainly just because, I have better PvP units, so like, why would I use him? Or I'm not sold on Ashra. Indra, I'm pretty sold on.
It's interesting with Blazing. I guess I can maybe throw this in. Like, it's interesting with Blazing how they're like, we have these awesome characters, like within the story they're so powerful, they're so amazing, and it's like, at the time with, like, let's say, I guess just comparing to Dokkan again, that I could think of, like, you have Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you have so many forms at this point, but you have like awesome and strong forms that are usable at this day and age. Some of them really aren't. Like, you're not going to use fucking Strength Super Saiyan 3 Goku at this point, it's just not going to happen. But the fact that they're like, but he was good at the time, but it's like, now that the fact that they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna, with Blazing, that they've released these characters that were seemingly like so powerful, like Kaguya, that that they released her as like a free to play unit like that, and then, I mean, she's all right, but
she's not bad. She has vast range. That's the best she can get. If you limit break her to the fullest, she gets like 1600 attack with pill investment. She has decent HP. She has a 99 luck unit, which also is really good. Both of her jutsus have... Well, her first one has pretty good range. Her second one has decent range. And they both immobilize. So she's not bad. It's just not what you expect, right? But I'm sure we'll get a summonable Kaguya who's just the tits, man. I don't know.
Her tits. But that's why I assumed. I was thinking I guess it's just my model of how I put it in my head is like, if you're ever going to release like a free-to-play unit of a card, or just an easier way to get a certain version of a card, you're going to release the beastly version first, and then you're like, all right, well, maybe you free-to-play people still want to get Kaguya, but you don't want to, you don't want to summon for her using pearls and stuff. Here's a free-to-play version of her, like, later on, instead of, like, off the bat. I don't know. Seems kind of interesting, but...
Blazing, their free-to-play units are typically, they're still usable. You definitely can't beat the harder events in the game with them, because you do need specific units. There was the second Mizukage event. If you didn't have Mike Guy, who dropped with that event, you probably weren't going to beat it, because the guy just spammed perfect dodges, and Mike Guy specifically hit through perfect dodge and could two-shot the event. So it was just there's stuff like that where if you just don't have specific units, you can't hit through it. And there's even units that hit.
But Guy was free, right?
No. Guy was a summon unit. You have to.
I was gonna say, I think that'd be sort of interesting if they're they give a free to play unit yo, here's a free to play unit. So they just release one. He's he's all right and doing this and that. But then later on, maybe a month or so down the road, they're here's this event. This free-to-play unit we just released a month ago would be perfect for this event. So if you haven't grinded him already, you can grind him now and try to go for him. I think that'd be an interesting...
Some of them are like that. They released the one Rinnegan Madara, and he's pretty decent. They have guys like that, but none of them kind of come back and it's oh, dude, you're that one Rinnegan Madara. You'd be super good for this. The only ones I can really remember were CM2 Sasuke and Four Tails Naruto, or I guess Three Tails technically. Those two were, back in the day, they were super essential. It was you had to have CM2 Sasuke, and he was a free unit because he could solo events just by dodging. And that Naruto just hit so hard with his chakra cannon, his ultimate jutsu, or secret, whatever they call it. He was super essential because he's one of the hardest hitters in the game. But now they've kind of strayed away from that. The free units are just, they're still not as essential as they used to be. But I still appreciate that they make these units usable.
Yeah, no question. I think I know Blazing is one of those games that it's their free to play characters are definitely up there. That's why with Brave Souls, I don't really necessarily put them in there, just because they don't really have free to play characters. You can't get a free to play. You can't really get a free to play 5-star. What? There's, other than raid characters, you have frenzy characters. That's really about it. Unless there are certain occasions just a couple days ago where they had dropped the chaos event where it was co-op, and if you complete the co-op mission 5 times or 10 times, you get a 5-star Bankai Toshiro. But it's that's
they're free to play 5-stars are the metal exchange ones, although they do give out 5-star tickets every now and then, so you have the potential to get something good. So it's I don't know, they're not as free to play.
Yeah, you never can consider, in some cases though, with those people, it's you can never consider them free to play units, because well, those are summonable units. That's for some people, summonable units are not free to play units, and that's that. But it's they're not free to play units per se, but it's that still doesn't mean I'm not a free to play, player.
See, the problem is though, is this is a little off topic, but if you get that Toshiro, but then you have a bunch of chappies or whatever, then he'd be all right. But Bleach's free to play units are pretty garbage. If we were just talking strictly free to play that you don't have, that you can just grind for, they're pretty bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if there's a 5-star other than frenzy characters. What other 5-star free to play characters do you know of?
The swimsuit Toshiro was one of them. Metal
right.
Exchange. That's really about it.
Yeah, that's really nothing else. Raid characters, maybe.
The 4 stars we get
was actually one for a while. Tsukishima was one for a while, where he's a boss. The raid one was a boss killer.
Although he was kind of a meme at the same time too, because he still had pretty bad stats. But yeah, it's whatever. Blazing has best free to play units out of most mobile games. Don't at me, right?
Yeah, I think they've done definitely a good job. As the theme has been going here, Dokkan, take a fucking lesson, please.
But I guess the last unit here to touch up on is Indra. Indra, he's not again, he's kind of like Asura, like in the way that he's disappointing, because Asura, you know, is this like godly character that everybody reincarnates into, and then, you know, he's kind of underwhelming to say the least. But in Indra, you get at least, like, you know, he's a free character, so you can get his dupes, and his dupes definitely make up for his, I don't want to say lackluster stats, but he's just very average. You see, so like he has 1424 HP when you invest pills into him, and then he gets 20% damage reduction with dupes. So it's like he has a lower HP, but he's going to be reducing damage to kind of compensate for that. He has 1758 attack with, what are they called? Pills. When you invest pills into him, but he gets 300 more attack with dupes. So then he's hitting like 2,000 with mid-range, which is alright. That's pretty good. That's decent damage. Plus he counters, so there's that. But really, aside from that, it's just, he's about average. He doesn't mobilize with his ultimate. He leaves Amaterasu on the field with his first jutsu, but it only does 500 damage, which is kind of like negligible. Like, if that did slip damage instead of 500, like just sitting on the field, it'd be a lot better. But still, I feel like he at least came out a decent unit, and he kind of works. Where Asura is just kind of like, I don't know. I guess I'd have to max him out and really test it for myself to see how good he is. But just at face value, he just doesn't seem very good. If there's nothing else, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, thank you guys for those of you who sat through the whole podcast. Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. It's something that, like I said, I think we're going to be improving as time moves on as far as how we're going to be handling things. Again, if you guys have any suggestions.
It's definitely weird recording like an hour, like 40 minutes to an hour thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely hit an hour at this point. But
it's good though.
Yeah, I think it was good. It was still, we hit a lot of different things again. Hopefully we can try and pick up on Duel Links a little bit to talk more about that. But I don't know. Like I said, I figured it'd be a nice idea because it's something that we kind of enjoy doing as far as playing. We always talk about different games and stuff like that, just sitting in a chat. So it's like, why not try and bring this to you guys? Try and really open up the discussion to more people. And I don't know, just have fun time with it. And one other thing we're gonna try and do is hopefully try and stream this as well. So just try and figure out how that's gonna go. Maybe that'll be like the second or third podcast that we do, which hopefully we're trying to do this weekly. But second or third podcast we do will probably be like a streamed one, just to see what you guys think, and then maybe we can go on and off recording and streaming, or we can stream most of them, record most of them. I don't know. Like, I think we can figure that out. But I guess the only thing right now is trying to figure out like a name for it, because I still don't know.
Yeah, every name that we've tried to come up with turns out to be like some company or someone else has already stolen it. I'm like, bro. Yeah,
so we'll figure something out. If you guys have any ideas, let us know. Again, I mean, all we're talking about is basically just like anime related mobile games. That's sort of it, really. So yeah, if you guys do have any suggestions on that, let us know. As far as any other topics or anything like that, if there's any news that you guys want us to talk about, like as far as any certain games or just any other general topics in regards to mobile games, or like the games in specific that we've talked about, drop anything like that in the comments. We'll be definitely sure to take a look at them. And yeah, anything else you want to throw in here?
Follow my Twitter.
Yeah, so both of our Twitters are going to be in the description. Again, we have other links and stuff like that in the description as well, so you guys can go ahead and check all that good stuff out. Again, you know, I'll be keeping you guys up to date as far as what we're going to be doing for the podcast and everything, through other videos and stuff like that, which I'll hopefully be continuing to upload again, so there's going to be that. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, any feedback, let us know down in the comments, and we will see you guys in the next podcast. Peace.
Deuces.